Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Dr. Apolly, and today we're going to be talking about the strongest children in One Piece. So these are the children who, they have the most endurance, most strength, all that stuff. The rules for this is that they have to be under 10. So a lot of the people we're choosing here are like the Straw Hats, who we get flashbacks of, or just characters in general that we get flashbacks of. Basically like a flashback tier list, who's the strongest character within all the flashbacks, except for Momonosuke here. Momonosuke was, I guess he's supposed to be 28, but he was 8 years old. Yeah, so which character within the flashbacks was the strongest? Which, like, primary figure within the flashbacks was the strongest? Anyways, you guys get the idea. First off here, we have Ace, and Ace is going to go into, I think, B tier. Now, Ace, he was said to be stronger than Luffy at the time, so I put some like above, this. I'm gonna put him, I guess, spoiler alert, but there's some tiers below. That means he's a tier above certain characters. He also had Conqueror's Haki at a very young age, so that bodes well for him. Not necessarily the fact that he had Conqueror specifically, I suppose, but it's what Conqueror's implies. It implies that they have a very strong will and they're just willing to fight to the absolute end. Luffy didn't have Conquerors. I mean, he had it, but he hadn't awakened Conquerors yet. He didn't have that will be fully manifest yet. So, yeah, anyways, Ace was just portrayed as stronger than Luffy at the time, so I'm just gonna put him in there. I don't think there's any objections. Big Mom is probably the strongest kid in the entire series, so I'm gonna put her in S tier right away. Like, it's kind of absurd how strong she is. So, yeah, she had a, 300 billion berry bounty when she was like 8 or 6 or something, and she cannibalized a bunch of people and murdered the Elbaf Giant's place, I believe, because she was hungry. So yeah, she's a complete monster. Big Mom, easily the strongest kid in the verse. We have Blackbeard here next. Blackbeard's gonna go to C tier. I think he's definitely a tier below Ace. If Ace was at the Roger versus Whitebeard flashback thing, I think he would have probably shown a little bit better, been displayed as being a little bit better than Blackbeard. So I'm going to put Blackbeard into C tier. Boogie, I'm also going to put in C tier since he was kind of portrayed to be similar to Shanks, and I'm just going to assume Shanks and Blackbeard at this time are about equal. So C tier. Next is Chopper, and Chopper is part of the... I'm going to put another tier list below. Just give me a second. Add row below. Yeah. And then we're going to call this one F tier. And this is where I'm going to put Chopper. Let's just change the color. Yeah. Chopper and F tier. Chopper is part of like the weakling trio of the Straw Hats right now, so I think it's pretty fair to just put him in F tier. Honestly, let me just move everyone down a spot except Big Mom. Anyways, Doflamingo putting him in C tier as well. We saw that he had Conqueror's Haki at a very young age. He had a very strong drive. Nothing much more to say other than that. He didn't do too much with his fruit or anything like that when he was younger, so C tier. Frankie, I'm going to put him in... I'm actually going to put Frankie in B tier because Frankie, he survived being hit by a train, and that's more than probably just about everyone else here could do. So yeah, I'm going to put Frankie in B tier. I'm going to put him a tier above all these guys. He seemed to have more physical prowess than them. At least that's just the feeling I'm getting anyways. Like, it's pretty superhuman for someone to survive a train. I don't think Ace or Doflamingo is surviving being hit by a train, as we saw in Frankie's flashback. Kaido, A tier, not quite on the tier of Big Mom. Big Mom was just a monster, but Kaido was said to be the strongest soldier in his youth. There was like a panel where he's like, yeah, even at 8 years old, he was the strongest soldier, or 10 years old, I believe. So he just made the cut. 10 years old is said to be the strongest soldier, and that puts him... Yeah, Kaido is said to be the strongest soldier, and that puts him a tier above Frankie, in my humble opinion. Next here we have Kuina. Kuina I'm going to put on the same tier as Frankie, because Kuina was in sort of a realm of her own when it came to the Swordsman Dojo. She was... like, Zoro was said to be able to defeat... I guess Zoro we'll talk about later, but Zoro was said to be able to defeat a bunch of adults, full-grown adults, and Kuina beat Zoro badly. So Kuina B tier, I think that's a pretty good tier for her. Law, I'm just going to put in D tier. He didn't really show too many feats at that age. I guess he eventually got the Devil Fruit. So maybe you could argue C tier. I'm just going to... But we didn't really see him do anything combat-wise. I'm going to put him in D tier. Luffy, I'm also going to put in D tier. He was definitely a step below Ace, and he was just getting used to his Devil Fruit. he was just getting used to his devil fruit, and he didn't really know how to use it well. And I guess technically, actually, now I'm thinking about it, you could argue Luffy is actually like bottom of C tier, because he had the Gomu Gomu no Devil Fruit, or at the time was Gomu Gomu no Devil Fruit, and he's said to be immune to blunt attacks. Because even if you look at the Luffy flashback, actually, the post-war flashback, you'll see that when he was fighting like Blue Jam, they had to have spikes on his fists because technically Luffy was immune to blunt attacks, or that's what they say in the show. He's at least highly resistant to blunt attacks, so everyone on this list actually technically couldn't even hurt Luffy, right? I mean, technically, it depends on how much you want to take, in how much stock you want to put into the fact that Luffy's immune to blunt attacks. That's what they say in the show, and that's what was implied with the flashback. So arguably, you can even put Luffy at S tier, but I'm not gonna do that. Luffy D tier based off what we saw. Yeah, maybe like above Law, but yeah, Katakuri. We get a mini flashback with Katakuri. Katakuri was able to defend his family from like bullies and stuff, and he has Conqueror's Haki. So he said he was like implied to be like the strongest of his siblings, even from a young age. So Katakuri in C tier, maybe B tier you could argue, but I think I'm just gonna put all the Conquerors like right beside each other. I'll put in C tier or D tier. Maybe C tier, because he did some training with Zoro and got some guidance from him. And I don't know, he just feels like he was probably a bit stronger than these guys. But he didn't really show any feats, I guess. I don't know. I'll just put Momonosuke C tier. Maybe you could argue B tier. I'll just put him bottom of C tier. Nami, F tier. I don't think I need to say much. No combat feats whatsoever, and even right now, is still like the weakest of the, like, part of the weakling trio. Odin here, we don't get any pictures of Odin as a kid, so I'm just gonna... Odin goes in A tier, by the way. We don't get any pictures of Odin as a kid, so I'm just gonna use the adult picture. But Odin, when he was like 2 or 3 years old, was like said to get in like skirmishes with the samurai of his time, and was just said to be a monster from a very young age. Which is much... I think that's much better portrayal as a kid than all the other characters here. And honestly, there should be like a tier between A and B. Oh, I have an idea. Let's go to add row below. So we have this place here. We're gonna call this, hear me out, Stairs. Because you all know that Kuina and Stairs do not have not on speaking terms. So, and also implies a gap. So yeah, Stairs is going to be the gap. Stairs also gets a tier list of its own. I don't have a picture of Stairs, unfortunately, but yeah, Stairs definitely gets a tier of its own. Everyone below this loses to Stairs. If they fall downstairs, they will immediately spontaneously implode. That's just how it works. Let's make this white. Yeah, I think that looks better. Looks cleaner. Yeah, that looks better. The Stairs in between there. Anyways, yeah, Odin was a monster as a kid. I don't think there's much to dispute about that. Robin, I guess you could argue D tier. We didn't really see her fight, but considering the fact that she was on the runaway from the government and she had a devil fruit already, I'm gonna put her in C tier. So she had to probably be like in these like kind of strong, and even when she met the Straw Hats, she was like pretty strong, probably close to around Sanji level at the time. So yeah, I'm gonna put Robin in maybe above Momonosuke actually, since she had to be, be clever and be witty. Is witty the right word? She had to be clever to maneuver herself around the people who were trying to kill her, right? So she probably had to like gain a little bit of strength from that. So I'm gonna put Robin in C tier. Yeah. So Sabo was also said to be equal to Ace at the time, I believe, in the Luffy Ace Sabo flashback. So I'm gonna put him right beside Ace. Sanji was pretty weak as a kid, like unbelievably like comically weak. I'm gonna put Sanji in D tier. I don't think there's much to say about that. Sanji's brothers, I'm gonna put all of them. I just put the red one here, but all of them put together, they're all around the same level. All of Sanji's siblings, Reiju, and the other ones, I forget their names. They're pretty relevant. Yeah, I put them in B tier. Honestly, I think they might even be better than Kuina and they might even be like top of B tier. Actually, no, I'm gonna put Kuina above. Gotta put respect on Kuina's name. So yeah, Sanji's brothers, they were shown to be much stronger than Sanji at the time. Putting them 2 tiers above is completely reasonable. I wouldn't put them on the same level as Oden and Kaido because those guys were just full-on war machines from like infancy. And these guys, like honestly, I'm pretty sure these guys would probably still lose to, like they might even lose to like Kid Kaido, to be honest with you. That's how much the gap is. Like these guys as adults might even lose to Kid Kaido. That's how much of a gap there is between them. And yeah, anyways, Shanks here, I'm gonna put Shanks in D tier. He was, you know, portrayed to be similar to Boogie, and I'm just gonna put Shanks, Boogie, Blackbeard all around the same level. I guess if I had to rank them, I put Shanks at the top, and then I put Boogie as Shanks, Boogie, Blackbeard. If I had to rank it, that's probably what I would do, based purely off my feelings. Yeah, anyways, Usopp F tier. You just anything about that? He had no combat prowess whatsoever. Zoro here, I'm gonna put Zoro, I'll put him over here. Yeah, right above Robin, but below the Conquerors plus Sabo. Zoro was a freak when he was younger. He like lifted all these giant boulders, and he lifted all these giant boulders, and it was said that he was able to beat like most of the adults at the time. So he already had like superhuman strength, adult strength pretty much from a young age. And honestly, I'm looking at it now, Frankie might be a bit too high. Cause like, could Zoro, with the amount of strength Zoro had, could he do something similar to, does he have enough like horsepower to match a train hitting him? And maybe, to be honest with you, so I might be putting Frankie a bit high. I'm not even sure if Frankie's actually 10 in this photo. He looks older than everyone else. I think he might actually be older than 10. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. Just ignore everything I'm talking about with Frankie if this is the case. But Frankie, I'm thinking about it now, might have put him a bit too high. I don't know, what do you guys think? I'm not sure anymore. Is he above the Conquerors, the Kid Conquerors? Does he have enough firepower to withstand Zoro raw strength of, you know, being able to like lift a ton of boulders and like train with that all day? And then is he like so significantly stronger than Zoro as to be able to beat him reliably 200 times in a row, like low diff Zoro, 2,000 actually, like low diff Zoro 2,000 times? You have to feel how much of a gap there has to be for you to lose to someone 2,000 times in a row. Like, I don't know. When I used to play Smash Bros, I don't think I would lose to anyone in the world 2,000 times in a row. You can put Prime Armada, Prime Mango, playing their best, and I'm pretty sure if I played them 2,000 times, I'd be able to beat them at least one time. Or Prime Zero when he played Smash 4. 2,000 times? Like, come on. That's negative difficulty. Yeah, I'm putting Frankie below, maybe around here. Like, maybe he's a little stronger than Momonosuke, yeah. Yeah, so it's just Lena and the siblings are like at the top of like the realistic normal people sort of range. I guess these guys are not normal people, but within One Piece bounds, like if you trained hard enough, if you're talented enough, you could actually get that strong. These guys are all just freaks, utter monsters. Like Big Mom would solo every single person here. Like maybe the A guys would be able to beat Big Mom if they like teamed up, but Big Mom is definitely soloing every single person below the A guys, and it's not even remotely close. And probably all the A guys are also actually neg-diffing all these guys put together. Like, it's actually kind of ridiculous how much stronger they are. And yeah, that's the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hope you enjoyed. I'll catch you all next time. Alright, peace.